sea turtles?" she asked, holding her ice cream sandwich in the air. "I thought I saw one in the water earlier, but it was just seaweed." Max shook his head. "Sea turtles don't like it much here, now that the beach is so crowded with buildings and people. And they're endangered all over, so there's just less of them than there used to be." "My mom taught me about that," Sofia said. "She's a veterinarian. She said sea turtles get caught in fishing nets, and sometimes they accidentally eat bits of plastic in the water. It's awful, but I hoped I'd see just one here this summer." She let her gaze drift across the beach, even though she knew there'd be no turtles to spot. There sure were a lot of seagulls, though. "Hey," she said, catching sight of one close by. "Is that the thief that stole my cone?" As the gull hopped toward them, Max saw a splotch of strawberry ice cream just above the bird's yellow beak. "That's the thief, all right," he said. "It has an ice cream mustache." Sofia laughed, until she saw the bird was hobbling, leaning toward one side. "Is something wrong with its foot?" she asked with a frown. Max tiptoed through the sand, following the seagull. Then he saw a length of string dragging behind it. "Fishing line!" he cried. "It's wrapped around the poor bird's leg." He frowned. Grandpa had taught him never to leave fishing line in the water. Too bad everyone didn't follow that rule. "We have to help it," Sofia said, jumping to her feet. But every time they got close to the gull, it fluttered away. The bird hopped along the beach, toward the shady mangrove forest behind the marina. There, it disappeared in a tangle of roots and leaves. When someone hollered from the beach, Max and Sofia spun around. Sofia's mother waved. "Stay close," she called, cupping her mouth with a hand. "We will," shouted Sofia. Max checked over his shoulder for Grandpa. He was hunched over the deck of the boat, untangling a rope, which meant Max had a few more minutes to spare before they set sail. When he turned back to Sofia, she was already gone, sprinting after the injured gull. "Wait for me!" Max cried, racing after her. He hopped down onto a dirt path and into the shade, where the air was moist and cool. He slowed to a jog, careful not to trip over the thick roots of the mangrove trees. When Max reached Sofia, she was standing perfectly still, staring between two thick clumps of palms. "Do you see the gull?" he asked, leaning over to catch his breath. Sofia shook her head. "But look," she whispered. Max peered through the thick fronds and hanging moss. A sailboat rested at an odd angle, half in the water and half beached on the sand. Its tattered sail flapped in the breeze, as if calling them forward. Max had told Grandpa he'd be back soon, but he couldn't resist. "Come on," he whispered. Chapter 2. Wind Rider. Max examined the neglected boat. Navy blue paint was chipping off the wooden boards of the hull. The torn, yellowing sail hung over the deck rail, covering the faded white letters that were painted on the bow. Max lifted the sail, and Sofia came closer to read them. "Wind Rider," she murmured. "You can tell it used to be a nice boat," Max said thoughtfully, tracing the sun-bleached W with his finger. "Why would anyone abandon it?" Sofia didn't answer. She was too busy finding the quickest way on board. Max turned, just in time to see her climbing a creaky metal ladder, hanging on the side of the boat, onto the deck. "Sofia, wait!" he called. "It might not be safe." He pictured the rotting boards of the deck and the creatures that might have made themselves at home below, like alligators, snakes, or even bears. But Sofia was already tugging on the rusty metal handle to a wooden hatch leading below deck. There was a snap. "Oops," she said.